Hello, this is Martha Hines with Living the One Light. So today I am feeling called to talk about this new moon in Sagittarius that we're having today within couple of hours of me recording this video. And also some of the other transits happening right now, and then the general theme, the energetic that I'm feeling in my own life and that I'm feeling called to speak to, which is really around this opportunity to come back into what we could call natural law, or what is actually fundamentally real for us as beings of this earth and beings of the cosmos and beings of existence. So there's many ways that I'm feeling this call and this draw to really drop into what is actually fundamentally natural, if you want to use that word. What's the most natural state of being? What is the most fundamentally healing way that we can be in the world and in our lives and in relationship to ourselves? So I have a few thoughts about that and reflections about the current astrology that play into that theme. So before I start, I'll also just say that I'll say more about this later in the video, but I do have three things coming up that I want you to know about. One is this Saturday, November 26th. It's November 26th. I am having my next Soul Wisdom community gathering, which is free to anybody who's part of my membership. And also people are welcome to come drop in, just 1 month at a time, but we're going to be in community circle, and I'll be channeling a healing guided meditation and experience around the theme of seeing and being as the light. And it'll be kind of a part 2 from last month. You don't need to have been at last month's gathering to participate in this one. It'll be, perfect and healing and just right for you if you feel called to be there. But if you do sign up for this Saturday's gathering, I'll send you the recording from last month, just so that you, if you feel called to listen to that, you're welcome to as well. So there's that. Then next Friday, December 2nd, is my next Deep Peace and Healing Circle. So that's a time where you come and you just let go into the arms of the divine. And it's essentially like receiving a Reiki session or an energy session, but it's a guided, channeled healing session for you to get whatever healing and returning to a sense of deep peace in yourself that you're needing. It's really a time to help to nurture your nervous system, to come back into your parasympathetic nervous system and, get support from the spirit world and the earth and ourselves in exactly the way that you're needing. And then on December 14th, I'm holding a Astrology of 2023 and You workshop. And I would love to have you there. I'll be talking about the themes I see in 2023 and talking about how those may apply in your own life, given your own natal chart. And so I think that'll be really fun. And I'm also offering written and or live, one-on-one sessions to look at the astrology of 2023 specifically for you. And if you come to the workshop, you can get a discount on those. Or if you get one of those readings, the workshop is free, and the workshop is going to be recorded. So you don't need to be there live. You can be there live or not, and you'll get the recording either way. And actually the workshop also is going to come with a little ebook. I don't know about little, but it'll be an ebook with all of the major transits of 2023. Yeah, so lots of ways to support you in the coming weeks and beyond. And there's more, but that's what I'll say right now. So back to this current moment and this new moon that's happening today. Today is November 23rd, 2022. So today, what's going on is we have this new moon at 1 degree of Sagittarius, and literally 6 minutes after the new moon is exact, Jupiter is also going direct at 28 degrees of Pisces. And Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So that's really significant. This is like incredibly Jupiterian, Sagittarian day and moment and new moon phase. Jupiter at 28 degrees of Pisces is very, 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 very close to going back into Aries. So it's very close, basically trining the new moon as well. So it's just this beautiful combination of energies, this Jupiterian, Sagittarian set of energies. And then I'll just name the astrological things for those of you who follow astrology, and then I'll interpret it. So if these words don't mean anything, just let them wash over you, and I'll hang on a second and I will come and speak English in a second. So then the other significant things I see when I look at the chart of the new moon is Vesta has just entered Pisces. So the new moon is squaring Vesta. And another really interesting thing is that Eros, the asteroid Eros, is currently at 11 degrees of Scorpio, almost conjunct the south node of the moon, which is at 13 degrees of Scorpio. Eros will be exactly conjunct the south node of the moon this Friday, so November 25th. Okay, so now to put that into English. So what I have been feeling personally, but I'm guessing this will resonate for others of you as well, is that we just came out of this incredibly intense eclipse time. We had 2 eclipses, one in October and then one on November 8th. And those eclipses were in Scorpio and Taurus. So, and the north node of the moon is conjunct close to Uranus. So the energetic of this eclipse season was unbelievably, incredibly clearing. So much energy around releasing things, releasing the old, allowing the things that are dying or dead or ready to move on to become compost, essentially, right? To really transform and transmute, to feed the new, to feed what's ready to sprout and become living earth. And it's really about, the death and life cycle being all part of the same thing. That death isn't actual disappearance, it's death is in service of life, and it's all, again, part of the same thing. The tree dies, becomes this rich soil, which then nurtures the seeds that are sprouting. So that's been very, very alive in this eclipse time of the Scorpio Taurus energies. And with Uranus on the north node of the moon, I definitely experienced this in my own life, and I'm guessing many of you did as well. There may have been things that came up, and also with the south node in Scorpio, things that came up that needed to come into the light of day, and or that just needed to shift, like the truth of the divine, the reality of the divine, Uranus, just radically needed to align, just needed to bring anything out of alignment, boom, straight back into alignment. So there may have been things that needed to be said, or that people weren't sharing secrets that people weren't sharing that suddenly they needed to share, or whatever it is, so many different possibilities. And again, I can speak for myself, but I have been hearing this from a lot of other people as well, is that this time may have been really exhausting. It was extremely exhausting for me. I needed to take off the last couple of weeks, and I'm still kind of recovering energetically from all of that. So that brings us then to this new moon in Sagittarius with Jupiter going direct, and the new moon squaring Vesta, and this, Eros on the south node of the moon, and more. But in my praying, what I've just been getting told over and over and over and over again the last couple of weeks is, come back to yourself as earth. Like, basically re-become dirt, soil, earth. Come back into the resonance, the vibration, the reality, the rhythm of yourself as earth. Because we are earth bodies. We are animals. Literally, we're animals. And Sagittarius and Jupiter have a lot to do with quote unquote natural law. I don't personally really love that phrase because it has certain connotations that I don't necessarily want to promote. But if I just take those words, natural law, there's another way I can work with that. And so what I'm feeling in that phrase natural law that resonates for me is, there's an ultimate reality that just is the truth. It just is truth. Jupiter is currently in Pisces, right? So Pisces just is existence. Jupiter in Pisces, we can think of as the truth of existence. And with Jupiter going direct in Pisces, ruling this new moon in Sagittarius, it's like, for me, it's feeling like, also with the North Node also in Taurus, which is very much about the earth and our bodies, there's this theme of just slow down, take a deep breath. And when we come right back down into the natural state of being that is us as earth, that is the most natural state of being of ourselves as source, of ourselves as the divine, what does that feel like? How is that different or the same as the state of being we tend to be in this human construct life that we have co-created with each other? It tends to be very, very, very fast and very filled with anxiety and depression and struggle, trauma. And all those things are real. And at the same time, again, in my praying, I just get told, yeah, come back to yourself as earth. And when I do that in myself, well, what's that state of being? For me, I experience it as very, very slow and rhythmic and cyclical. There's, the earth is in these constant cycles. It's rotating on its axis. It's revolving around the sun. The moon revolves around the earth. So then we have tides. I live right by the ocean, and I walk to the ocean pretty much every day, right? So I love seeing the tides coming and going. And I love low tide. And I love just just being part of the rhythms of that relationship between the moon and the earth and the ocean and the land and my cells. I love to feel it in my cells that like my breath is in rhythm with the waves, because it is. And our air, we breathe the air that when you go to the ocean, it's so there's so much oxygen. It's so enlivening, right? Because our body, like my body, when I walk to the ocean and I sit down by the waves, it's just, I become like the ocean air just fills my whole body, and my cells feel like I'm just moving as one with the ocean, and I can feel the dolphins and the whales and the seaweed and all of the ocean life, and then the land life too, because it's all one thing. Like I have mountains here right next to the ocean, and so it's just unbelievably beautiful and amazing. And yeah, so again, when I take a deep breath and I just come back into, again, what the spirit world is telling me to do personally, that I think is relevant for many of us, re-become earth, re-become ocean, re-become waves, re-become the trees, re-become the stars and the cosmos and the galaxies. And we are all of these things, literally. If we're not that, what are we? Because that's where we are. That's what these bodies, our bodies are. Yeah, so as we're recovering, if you have been feeling traumatized or drained or upset, or if you've been in a dark place, over the past few weeks, which I've again been hearing from a lot of people, that's what people have been experiencing. If that happens to be true for you, I just offer this to you as this energy, the Sagittarian, Jupiterian energy, can be a reminder of, again, natural law. Like, what is that natural way of being that is inherent to who we are? We are Earth. We are cosmos. We are ocean. We are air. And again, for me, coming back into that reality has been the most nurturing, fortifying resource that I can think of. It's been the medicine that I've been needing. So I offer that kind of prompt or reminder if that's something you're needing. And then I just wanted to add in also with Eros on the south node of the moon and Vesta just entering Pisces, squaring this new moon, that adds in a couple other elements. So I just want to name those and explore those a tiny bit. With Vesta entering Pisces, which is where Jupiter is going direct, also in Pisces, although Jupiter is going direct at 28 degrees of Pisces and Vesta is currently at 0 degrees of Pisces. So the two ends of Pisces, but still Pisces. Vesta is the asteroid that's related to, among other things, ourselves as sacred sovereign beings, and what we hold sacred, and our recognition of ourselves, our honoring of ourselves as sacred, and our sanctity, and the sanctity of life itself. So Vesta squaring this new moon to me just adds this element of sacredness and intention, sacred intention, as we drop into ourselves as beings of earth and beings of, again, natural law. We are sacred beings. of the earth. The earth is sacred. Everything of the earth is sacred. And there's just like Vesta to me just adds in that reminder and that holding of ourselves as temples, as keepers of the fire, of the flame, of source, which is what we are. All of life is, in a sense, a temple of the fire of source, which actually brings me to Eros, Eros on the south node of the moon. So again, this adds for me this theme of, okay, so Eros is an asteroid that is associated with the god Eros, who, is associated with our erotic energy, but not just, I mean, it's definitely sexuality, it's definitely sexual energy, but it's also creativity and like the life force energy that creates all things. And that for sure moves through us as animal bodies, as sexuality, as sexual energy. And it also moves through us just as creative life force. So Vesta, is the temple of this, the flame, the sacred flame of source of existence. And Eros, in a sense, you could think of as just the fire itself. So again, there's just all this energy of coming back to our bodies, coming back to ourselves as natural animal beings who are sacred temples of the flame, of the fire, of the Eros, of the sexuality and the creativity of the divine. And that moves through us in all kinds of ways. And when we come back to ourselves as earth, and we come back to ourselves as beings who are in earth bodies, there's this, this resurgence that I feel in myself, that I think is just true on a general level, of remembering that Eros, that erotic energy, which again is definitely sexuality. I don't want to diminish that, but it's not really necessarily about having sex. It's about feeling that life force energy that arises and that moves and that is what creates all things, and that is a major resource for our own, nourishing ourselves and fueling ourselves as beings on this planet who are here in earth bodies, created by life force of Eros and that flame of source itself. And it's a huge part of what we're meant to be working with and moving as we're here in these earth bodies. So yeah, I think that sums up my general message, which is, again, I'm just speaking for myself, but these eclipse energies were exhausting for me. and now, my answer, the answer I'm given for me for kind of recovering from that and moving into this next phase of integrating all of it, is coming back to myself as earth, coming back us, again, not speaking for you, but if this happens to resonate for you, this opportunity for you to come back into yourself as earth, come back into yourself as the sacred temple for the flame of source, and yourself as a being of Eros, an erotic, alive, creative life force energy being embodied in an animal earth body. Yeah, great. Okay. So I think that's everything I wanted to say about this new moon and the astrology. And so just to recap, what I have coming up and what I'm offering right now. I would love to welcome you into any or all of it that speaks to you, calls to you, feels like it would be nurturing and enlivening and supportive for you. This Saturday, my goodness, November 26th is the Soul Wisdom Community Gathering. That's free for all my members. You're welcome to join the membership for $22 a month, and you can come to that for free, or you can just join the gathering one time for $30. Then Friday, December 2nd, I have the next Deep Peace and Healing Circle, which is, just an amazing time to completely let go, let the cosmos hold you, let the spirit world hold you, and receive healing and come into the state of really deep peace and just receive whatever it is that you're needing in that moment. So that's Friday, December 2nd. And then Wednesday, December 14th is the workshop on astrology of 2023 and you. And that is going to be, all of these gatherings actually are live and or recorded. You can have the recording, you can be there live or not. And then I'm offering one-on-one personal 2023 forecast sessions. You can do them as a session one-on-one with me, or you can have me write up a written report for you that you can have throughout the year that highlights what transits in 2023 are going to really be potentially really big for you. Like maybe one of the eclipses is going to happen to fall on your sun, or happen to fall on your moon, or happen to fall on your Venus, or whatever it is. Or one of the big gigantic transits for all of us of 2023 is that Pluto is going to be moving slightly barely into Aquarius and then back into Capricorn. But when it does that, it's also going to be squaring the nodes of the moon exactly next summer. So Pluto is going to be a huge player this year. And for anybody who has planets right around 0 degrees of basically any sign, but especially Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus, but really any sign. If you have planets that are really prominent around 0-ish degrees, that particular transit is going to be huge for you. And that's just one example of many, many, many things coming up this year, where in the one-on-one session or the written report or both, I will highlight for you, so XYZ is going to be really strongly aspecting your Venus. And so issues of blah, 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 may be really alive for you, or there may be a really strong opportunity for you to have healing around such and such issue, or it may be a really great time for you to whatever it is, whatever theme seems really alive in your own chart when I look at it with the themes of 2023. So that's available, and I'll be doing those in the month of December in particular, but January as well. And then in January, I'll be starting a whole new set of things. So I'm just kind of slowing down this coming month, and I'm really available to do one-on-one work like that, and also to just help you drop into what's alive for you in this coming year. And whatever other kind of support you may need, just reach out, and we'll see what's the best fit for you, and it would be great to connect. Okay. So you can reach me at my website, which is Living the One Light at livingtheonelight.com, and then my email address is livingtheonelight@gmail.com. And all the links for all the workshops I mentioned and everything will be with this video. Okay. I hope you're doing well. I would love to hear what your experience of these eclipse times has been. And I send many, many, many blessings for healing and transformation and peace and contentment and whatever else you are needing here and now and moving forward on this new moon in Sagittarius with Jupiter going direct and Vesta squaring the new moon and Eros on the south node. Okay. Blessings to you. And I'll talk to you soon.